Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to some more fantasy talk of the Equinox Survivor League. I'm not sure if someone's opening a new package or they're chowing down on something delicious right now, but welcome Mr. James and Mr. Chris, the Sean Saunders Report, and the Baba Black Sheep. How you doing, guys?
Well, I'm good.
Right.
There you are. All right.
That time of the year again.
Yes, sir. It's coming up fast. We got less than 2 days now till the draft, till the fun part starts.
I don't know if it's going to be fun when you've prepped less than an hour.
Look, I'm in the same boat. I spent the last really the last month and a half getting ready to move, but here I am, the new place, shooting this in the middle of our new living room now. So, it's nice. So I'll actually be there for the draft. I'm excited for that. I'm bringing some buffalo hot dogs with some buffalo horseradish mustard. Hope you guys are excited for that.
Do you mean that it's buffalo as in spicy or buffalo
No.
as in New York style hot dog?
Yeah, as in they make them in Buffalo. They're very tasty,
Nice.
tasty dogs. But let's say the hell with the party for now. It's time to talk football. I know Mr. Kamish has the getting ready to set up the actual schedule for everybody, so everybody can see who they're playing week 1 and beyond.
I'm going to share my screen with you now, and I'm going to go in and do this. Let's see, manage. And all right, you got the screen pulled up?
Yes, sir.
Customize league schedule. Randomize. I'm going to do it 5 times because obviously the Patriots are 5-time champions.
Oh my God.
Nice.
1, 2, 3.
Why don't you do it 7 times for
Four.
lucky?
I'll do it. Why don't we just do it 9 times since we're going into our 9th season?
Screw it.
5,
If you can keep track of it.
6, 7, 8, and this is the last time. This is it. Submit, go to league, and this is the official schedule. We've got myself playing ATL Falcons, which I believe is Dustin. So me and Dustin will be playing each other week 1. We've got Christian versus William Martin, the Motor City Comeback Kids. We've got you, Josh Barlow, the reigning champion, facing the Cream Team.
Uh-oh.
The one and only. We've got Joey versus Asian Kid, which is ironic because Asian Kid, I think it was either on Discord or on Facebook, said that Joey is his dark horse this year. We've got the Sean Saunders Report, the one and only Mr. Nelson versus
The
clown.
That's you. Your name's the Sean Saunders Report.
Change my name to the Clown Report.
Okay. You are going up against Taco Court, which I believe is Barnaby. We've got Chad Real Hitta versus, speaking of the clown, the one and only Sean Saunders, which is Omar Cumming. I think that's the Wire reference. I'm not sure. But we've got Cadillac versus Sean week 1, and then we've got Caleb versus Hayden, Mile High Militia. So that is your schedule for week 1, sometime in September. So there it is, boys.
All right.
Nice. I get to start off with a seasoned veteran. I like it.
Yep. We've got the Cream versus Josh week 1. That'll be entertaining.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for it. Since we had the last fantasy talk I did was with Mr. Creamer himself. So we'll see how that goes.
And just another quick note. People are talking about buying magazines or going like Fantasy Pros websites or Fantasy Sharks. Y'all can do that, but I'm telling you, what you need to go is you need to go to League, go to Players, and it pulls up last season's rankings based on our point system. And that's what you got.
It's smoke and mirrors.
No, it's not. That's what you guys need to really look at, because I'm just going to point out one stat, and it is what it is. If you look at the running backs last year, 607 points, David Johnson, 605 points, Ezekiel Elliott, Le'Veon Bell, go down the list. You'll see that the 11th best running back had 391 points. The 11th best, which was Melvin Gordon. You go to receivers, the number one receiver last year in our league was Julio Jones. He had 381 points. So that means that the top 11 running backs scored more points than the number one overall receiver in our league last year. Just take that for what it's worth. Y'all want to, I swear to God, if I see someone draft someone not named Julio, Odell Beckham, or Antonio Brown first round, you're going to hear me crackling and laughing from Las Vegas. First round should be 9 or 10 running backs, Gronk or quarterback, and the 3 receivers, the top 3 receivers. That's it.
Well, now all of that being said, don't be discouraged if you really want to go grab, I don't know, Golden Tate in first round. You go for it.
That's what I'm saying. I was thinking myself, Mohamed Sanu.
Yeah, see, there you go.
League players, gentlemen, league players, look at that. But if you want to go by fantasy pros and draft, you want to draft T.Y. Hilton in the first round, go ahead. I'll be laughing all the way from Las Vegas, Nevada. Stop sharing.
All right, so actually we're gonna jump into a quick first round mock that I put together real quick about an hour ago, and we're just gonna get you guys to comment on it, see what you think about what I've got here, and maybe what you think that person in that spot would have done. But we're gonna go ahead and kick it off. Let me pull it up on screen. If I can. There we go. All right, so right now, James and Chris have swapped picks, so James picking first. So I'm assuming you're going to go with Le'Veon Bell at this point.
It was either between him or Zeke, and with the information that came out today that Zeke's facing a 1 or 2 game suspension, more than likely, from the league for an alleged domestic violence incident that happened over a year ago, even before he was drafted. And Adam Schefter, who is, I'm pretty much anti-ESPN, but he is the one guy on ESPN that actually knows what he's talking about. So with Zeke looking at a 1 or 2 game suspension to start the season, it's pretty much a no-brainer. Since I've got the number one overall pick to take Bell.
Even if he's suspended 1 or 2 games, Le'Veon Bell's liable to be injured 2 or 3 games. So.
True, or suspended. But as of right now, Zeke's going to get 1 or 2 games, and right now Bell is in a contract year, and as long as he doesn't smoke any fluff, he should be playing all 16 games. And with that being said, looking at last year's notes, he was suspended 3 games last year. Bell was, and he had 540 points, which was like 55 less than Zeke, who started all 16 games, who won't be starting all 16 games this year. So, yeah, number 1 pick, you're correct on that. I will be taking Bell. With that being said, if I had the 2nd or 3rd pick, I would still take Zeke, even if he is facing a.
Right. So
between the 2, though, you got to take Bell, though. Like, you have to take Bell between the 2.
Okay, so moving on, Dustin's got the 2nd pick. And in the past, he's definitely leaned towards ATL players. He's a hometown fan. That's who he likes. So even with Zeke on the board, I'm assuming he's either going to take Elliott, or he may lean again towards that hometown edge with Julio Jones.
Yeah, I'm going to agree. I say he takes Julio.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to defer to the other Falcon, one of the other Falcon fans in the league. I think he took Julio 2nd overall last year. But again, it's not a bad pick. You get the number 1 receiver, but I mean, Zeke had 600 points. Julio had less than 400. So.
Yeah, but I think there's a part of Dustin that's and I'm kind of with Dustin on this, man. It gives you something extra to pull for when you have your own players. I will say I had a couple of Atlanta guys last year, and it kind of interfered with my fandom. You know, like Freeman would be balling, and I would be crying because they don't. You know, I'm like, I want to see Coleman throw the ball to Gabriel. You know, so I don't know, man. I personally may separate the two this year. You know, and then like it added insult to injury if Matt Ryan had a down game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Well.
know, but I don't see Dustin breaking tradition. Man, he did it last year. There's nothing that I just don't see why it would, you know, what would be different this year.
Right.
Fair
Okay. Well,
enough.
it's at number 3. If he's still on the board, you know, I'm gonna go Elliott, assuming that Dustin goes Jones. Although there have been rumors floating out there that Drew Brees is gonna be on the board, and you know, hometown favorite here.
The number 1 scoring player in our league last year.
That's right.
He had over 800 something points.
Yep.
I mean, you know, but again, with Elliott and Johnson are the only 2 non-quarterbacks that had over 600 points. So,
Yep.
You know, but again, it's either the top 2 or 3 picks are either going to be Bell, Zeke, maybe Julio, and then get down if someone's going to go quarterback. I mean, Breeze in the first isn't crazy. I mean, he had over 100 points more than the second quarterback in our league, and that was Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had 730 points. Drew Brees ranked in 831. So
I will say this, fam. If you take Breeze, I mean, you have to be aware of the fact that, I mean, it's obvious they're probably going to run the ball more. Their backfield is much more dynamic now.
That's true.
I don't know that Breeze will be relied upon as heavy as he has been.
well, they also have a shitty defense, so
Right,
I'm
that's
assuming
the
they're
flip
going to
side.
be having to throw the ball a lot. And then beyond that, Barlow won last year, so he has a keeper this year, and he's already got a running back in LaShawn McCoy. So, with that being said, it's not the craziest thing if Zeke's off the board for him to go Breeze with Shady in his back pocket.
This is the thing, though, and I think Atlanta can learn. I mean, when you got a shitty defense, a good run game is your best friend, and it gives your defense a little time to rest, bleeds the clock a little bit. You know, when it comes down to a fourth quarter comeback, I mean, Breeze is quite capable. So
they've got AP to go with England this year. So
and this is another thought. I mean, what if they save AP for the majority? You know, hoping for a playoff berth, and you know, rest him generally during the season. I don't. We have to see how this is going to pan out.
Right. Josh, what's going on down in New Orleans? Who is RB1 on the depth chart? Is it Ingram or is it AP?
It's still Ingram right now. AP. It seems like they're going to do exactly what you were saying, Chris. They're going to rest him as much as possible. You know, use him in key situations, but make sure that he has plenty of rest to keep him healthy throughout the year.
Yeah, I mean, there's 2 sides of that, though. I mean, a lot of backs need reps to stay in rhythm. I don't think AP necessarily falls. I mean, he's such an explosive player. I don't know that he falls under the same rules as
right.
running backs.
No, only time will tell. Moving on to number 4 pick, we got Mr. Riggs. I really didn't know where he would go here. There's still a few good running backs left on the board, and I just kind of went with the Chicago pick for him with Jordan Howard.
Jordan Howard is outside of the big 3, Johnson, Bell, and Elliott. Howard is the next on the list. He had over 13 or 1,400 rushing yards. He didn't even start until week 3, or he missed 2 or 3 games because he was a rookie, wasn't even starting. And then beyond that, he had like 8 or 9 different 100-yard games, which is crucial in our league for bonuses. So I don't blame you for picking that. I've just got this feeling he's going. I think he's going Odell Beckham. I'm willing to bet some money that he goes Odell Beckham at 4.
I was thinking, isn't he a big Brandon Marshall fan?
He is, but I'm willing to bet money he goes Odell Beckham at 4. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I don't know, man. They play on the same team now.
Exactly. He could go Odell 1 and then Marshall 2nd. You know how Riggs likes to do it.
Yeah, I personally felt like it may be a reach, but I felt like he may go Marshall. I mean, if he doesn't do either of those two.
Okay. Well, at number 6, Mr. Curse himself, I put down Des Bryant. I mean, wait a second, Antonio Brown.
No, you skip Joey at 5.
Oh, I did. My bad. Joey.
Yeah.
Joey, my bad, Joey. Number 5, Joey. I put him down for DeMarco Murray. Just the next, capable back in the system.
Yeah, he was second or third best running back in the AFC, and I'll defer to Chris because he was all over that pick last year in the 3rd round, which he's not going to go in the 3rd round this year.
I got laughed at last year, same way I believe you did, sir.
Yeah, I mean he had let me see, he was
number 5 overall. Yeah.
In our league, he was the 5th best running back in our league with almost 1,300 rushing yards, 9 rushing touchdowns, almost 400 receiving yards, and 3 receiving touchdowns, and he had right at 500 points. So,
yep.
Yeah, he'll be going within the 1st round this year without a doubt.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, if like Barlow said for the next pick, maybe he could be a good choice too.
Yeah.
But for the Seanster, he's fond of Des Bryant though.
No,
or Zach Stacy.
Or
Zach Stacy. Say what?
Are we talking about Joey?
Yeah, well, he's next though.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if by chance he's filling a receiver, he may.
Oh yeah, Joey.
Oh, for Joey picking up Brown. Okay.
Yeah, if he decides to go receiver instead of running back, yeah, Joey could take Brown or Julio if Julio isn't taken by Dustin. You're all in on Julio being taken by Dustin. I like it. I'm willing to bet that Dustin doesn't take Julio, and I'm willing to bet that Matt takes Beckham. Nothing crazy, but I'm willing to bet a few dollars on that. So y'all can hit me up after the show.
Yeah, I mean you may have spoken with these guys, so I'm gonna pass.
Well, Briggs doesn't ever tell me who he's going to take, and Dustin. I feel like Dustin has realized that. I mean, Julio at 2 is not a bad pick, but I mean, damn, I just don't know how you turn down Zeke.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, at 6, I put down Brown for the Seanster.
If Antonio Brown is at 6, I'm sure Sean will pull the trigger. Though he has put it out there, he's wanting to trade back. He's putting that out there. He's made a Facebook post that he wants out of the 6th.
Like you said, he's probably wanting to move back to a comfortable pick to take Dez.
Yeah, and then
that's totally possible,
right? And then he turns around and he can, take Zach Stacy in the early.
And then Tim Tebow later on.
Yeah, but if he's there in the 1st, I'm sure if he stays put, I'm sure he'll take Brown if Brown's there.
Yeah, I don't see how you pass on Brown at this point. Yeah, assuming, you almost have to. I mean, there's a jive, but I just don't know that I trust that. His games were kind of sporadic. But God, when he put up numbers, last year.
Yeah, he had like 3 200-yard games, but then he only had one other 100-yard game. Like it was, you have like 40 yards or 200.
Yeah, exactly. It was a little too sporadic for anybody to really feel comfortable taking it.
So the Seanster takes Antonio at 6.
Well, typically, as soon as that first high-profile receiver comes off the board, the next one follows in the past. So I see Christian, following this train of thought. Christian grabbing Odell Beckham at 7.
Right.
I think he takes Jordy over Odell.
Well, that's it.
That's possible.
That's they were ranked 2 and 3 in our league last year, with Odell being 2nd and I think Jordy being 3rd.
I mean, there's something, and I'm going to go ahead and throw this out there. Let me just change this. Christian takes Marshawn Lynch right here.
That's something that a lot of
he tries to double down on Jordy.
in the second.
Previous year.
Yeah. Marshawn Lynch, no one's talking about, but I actually I have a first round grade on it because they shipped off Latavius Murray, which is the number one running back. He's had 1,000 yards. I'm sure he's been 1,000-yard running back the past couple of years, right at 1,000. But they shipped him off to Minnesota. So Marshawn is walking into essentially a high-powered offense with a good offensive line, and they're a pass-happy offense. So Marshawn, yeah, I'm kind of with Chris on that. I could see Marshawn going in the mid first round.
And I'll be honest, man, this is a formula that when Christian last time he had a great year, that was the formula he followed. He took Marshawn in the first.
In the second.
Marshawn's walking in a perfect situation to really put up some numbers. I mean, it could go either way with him taking a year off. But,
you know what?
I think he's still got it, man. I'm not gonna lie. If I was sitting right there, Marshawn Lynch would be on.
What's crazy with the Beckham and Jordy, I'm looking at this. They were separated by 1 point. In they were Odell was the number 2 best.
And I'll be honest, I feel like Odell
Jordy was number 3.
Ceiling, but I feel like Jordy
1 point difference.
You're not gonna punt Jordy Nelson, man. You put somebody like Sherman with that talks a bunch of shit against Odell, he'll check out of the freaking game, dude.
Right. Jordy's like an old farm boy, man. He's just gonna run down the field and jump over dudes, man. A-Rod's number 1 weapon. He's good for almost 100 catches, 1,200 yards, and 10+ TDs every year.
Yep.
Yeah, but
last year he actually had 14
to counter your bet that Christian takes Marshawn if he's there.
My only 2 bets are Riggs takes Odell, and I'm leaning that Dustin doesn't take Julio at 2. But I'm with you. Christian could go. It depends who he thinks is going to go higher. Is Jordy? I mean, Jordy is the number 3 overall receiver in our league last year. That is a fact. We are assuming Marshawn is going to bounce back after what is he, 31 now? 30, 31 after being a year off. I mean, you know.
Yeah, it could go either way. And I mean, that's the thing. Like, he may be a little discouraged that I even brought up Lynch, man. He probably thought maybe I'll go ahead and get Jordy and let Lynch fall.
Both of those guys should be going in the first, early second, though. I mean, they're in that mid to first, late second. So Beckham, though, I'm with Josh. Beckham, there's no way he falls in the second. Beckham is a top 6, 7, 8 overall pick. So,
yeah, I can take Beckham. I wouldn't take him with your pick. Like, I don't like it. He's a diva, man. I don't mind the diva-ness. I do mind the fact that he's so easily pumped.
Like, he is. This is fantasy-wise. Fantasy, he balls out every year.
I'm talking about in real life, dude. Like, you watch him. Like, if he matches up with a corner that gets in his head, he is done, man. Like, the dude will drop passes. Like, dude, I'm gonna tell you now, I wouldn't trade freaking Sadu for Odell.
The last 5 weeks of the season. The last 5 weeks of the season last year, he put up his lowest scoring game was 24 points, where he had 94 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah, and I'm sure he's playing the nicest D-backs in the league that just kept quiet.
Well, no, that was his worst game over the last 5 weeks, which was Dallas.
Yeah. What intimidating corners does Dallas have?
But that was his worst game. That's my point. That was his worst game over the last 5 weeks.
Divisional game.
Regardless, if Odell's there, I mean, at 6 or 7, I mean,
okay, let's get going down the line some more. We got Barnaby at number 8. I actually totally forgot about fucking Marshawn Lynch because I think he's gonna be crap anyway. But
really?
we're not gonna get into that though because fuck Marshawn Lynch.
It'll be a first-round pick. Oh, of course, because you're saying exactly. It's a personal bias. There's no logic behind it.
Whoa. What does Lynch have to do with this?
You don't remember him breaking like 5 years ago, like 40 tackles against the Saints and coming a playoff game?
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. I don't spend a lot of time watching the Saints game.
Well,
but I would have been thrilled the whole
time.
It
was a playoff game. It was a playoff game. Like it was a national game. Playoff game.
Nice. Way to go, Lynch.
Well, at number 8, we're gonna call Devonta Freeman off the board for Barnaby.
in a contract year. I mean, even last year, where like Coleman was a threat, he still had over 1,000 yards and like 300 or 400 receiving yards. So yeah, he's a top 10 running back in this league, and he's in a contract year. So I'll defer to the Falcon expert, but
I hate that. I'm growing to hate that dude.
you hate Devontae?
I'm starting to, man. He's a freaking crybaby, man. Like, dude wants to talk about his money, dude.
When you go to the Super Bowl, that happens, man. It is what it is. I mean, he's not the only guy in the world.
Yeah.
It's not atypical. Like, I was taken by that, like, back by that as much as I was when Tack came out, like, cussing and shit. Like, wow. Like, I was happy, like, that Atlanta actually drafted somebody like him, but it's just not typical to see in Atlanta. You know, like, normally our players pretty humble, hush, like, do everything behind closed doors. But yeah, I mean, dude, I have no, like, he's a baller, dude. There's no doubt about it.
Contract year, man. And y'all's offense, yeah. Devontae he's definitely, like I said, a top
I mean,
7 or 8 running back in the
how
league.
this dude, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't even think our coordinators ever even coordinated, coached, or anything in the NFL level. So. And
Barnaby's probably going running back because his keeper is DeAndre Hopkins, so he's already got a receiver. So.
Yeah, I could definitely see him taking Freeman. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that pick.
Yeah. All right, at 9, Will's going to be picking, and going back to Christian, if he does pick up Lynch, I see Beckham going here. If not, then probably or possibly at least Jay Ajayi.
Todd Gurley.
He got burned by Gurley last year.
Yeah, he was Gurley's keeper.
Will's an emotional player. I don't think he's gonna go back to Gurley.
I think if Freeman's available or Ajayi, he takes both of those. No way, he doesn't. I'm telling you, there's no way Will takes Gurley again. The problem is Gurley is on a shitty team and he is the best player. And I watched the documentary last year on All or Nothing. He was facing 8 and 9 man fucking fronts. And I mean, he still ended up with like 800 or 900 rushing yards, which is admirable. He almost hit 1,000, but yeah, that dude got killed last year. I mean, they were teeing off on him. And he had a rookie quarterback. So it is interesting to see where Gurley goes, though. Like, does he go in the first round this year? Does he fall in the second? I mean, supposedly they've improved their offensive line. It's Goff's second year. They've got a new head coach who is an offensive genius who helped Kirk Cousins turn into what he turned into the past couple of years. So I'm interested to see where Gurley falls to. Is he a first round pick this year? Is he a second? But I'd be shocked if Will takes him.
I mean, I just don't. This is the thing with Will, man. I don't like after getting burned by Todd Gurley. Do y'all really see him taking somebody?
His keeper. Let me tell you this: his keeper this year is Melvin Gordon, so he's already got one running back. It's either Ajayi or it's like you said. It's either Ajayi, Gurley. I mean, you're getting down to the.
What if he sneaks up and takes Breeze right here?
It's possible.
That's the reason he made the playoffs last year, because or was it 2 years ago that he made the trade
with
Dez Bryant Breeze with Hayden, and that's the reason he made the playoffs. Yeah. I think it was the last year or 2 years ago, but I think it was last year. So
if Barlow doesn't take Breeze probably goes right here.
I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a bad pick. If you're going to take a quarterback, mid or late first is definitely the place to do it.
Range, yeah.
And he's already got a keeper, so.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. So moving on, we got Hayden at 10. At this point, I don't know who the fuck's taking what anymore. I'm thinking it's just basically the best next back on the board.
His keeper's Mike Evans, so that would make
he's right running back here.
So I'm looking at Isaiah Crowell. I think is the next best. I mean, he might take Mark Ingram or LeGarrette Blount. Right here.
Lamar Miller.
Lamar Miller, yeah.
Range. Yeah, the 1,100. I mean, he had 360 points. I mean, he was right there in the top 10 or 11 running. I mean, he did what he was supposed to. He just had no quarterback, so he kind of Dude, he was facing the same fucking thing Gurley was.
Yeah.
They had a shitty ass quarterback in Brock Osweiler, and he still put up 1,000 yards.
You know what's going to be interesting outside of fantasy? Like they got what they really needed. They got their they're going to be an interesting team. And
Yeah, they're set. They got Deshaun Watson.
Lamar Miller could thrive now that they can't stack the box.
He's one of those
They
ones
have
like
two
Gurley.
excellent
Yeah.
receivers.
Yeah.
Exactly. Does he fall out of the first round, or is he a late first round pick? Because Lamar Miller was like a top 3 or 4 pick last year.
Yeah,
Like he was like yeah.
Whenever I picked, so.
You traded with Sean to move up to 4, I think, and yeah, he was top 5 pick last year by like all the experts. So like him, Gurley, you know. Let me ask you this: does Hayden go Gurley if Gurley's there?
Nah, that's too risky.
You don't think so?
That's too risky.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
He's going somewhere.
Well, it sounds like y'all think Gurley's falling into the second round, is what I'm gathering from y'all.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's still
not deep in the second round, but
you know, even if Hayden doesn't take him here, there's still 4 more picks after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we got 14 guys now.
Are you really going to take someone like T.Y. If you go receiver like the late, are you really going to take like T.Y. Hilton, assuming, you know, if Odell, Julio, and Brown are gone? Jordy may be there, but if Jordy's not, I mean, do you take T.Y. Hilton in the first round? Maybe he was the 4th best receiver last year.
No, see, I think you got to take a running back. You got to take.
I think Hayden, especially with him keeping Mike Evans, he's probably going to take Lamar Miller because he's the most steady of the names available. I mean, like, yeah, he may go with Gurley.
Or Ingram. I mean, Ingram's right. I mean, Ingram actually finished higher.
Yeah, but Ingram's competing now, man. I mean, we don't. Nobody knows what Ingram's roles are.
Right.
Yeah. So Miller or Ingram or who'd you have him taking?
Isaiah
Crowell.
Yeah.
Right. Who had a breakout year last year? He had like run at I think that was one of Joey's running backs, and he did pretty well for him.
Crowell beat me. That's when
yeah.
The curse of the Crowell.
All right, and then at number 11, Chad's coming up. He usually gives the splash pick. So
next.
The thing is, Barlow, it's like he's in the perfect spot to take Gronk late first.
Yeah, no, I know. Like,
he got an early second.
He's going to take Gronk and then a kicker with a second pick.
You know, I'm thinking. I actually put him down for Matt Ryan. But I also put in some other splashy name that ends with Onk. So I can see Gronk going here too.
Matt Ryan, he could go Matt Ryan, he could go Gronk. And the thing is, like where he's picking, that's where like he's okay doing that. Like you could go Matt Ryan or a quarterback into first and then go and get your running back early second, you know, or whatever, or a receiver. So Chad's actually in a spot this year where like if he wants to make the splashy pick, being a late first round pick, he can kind of risk it.
Right.
Because he's got a second.
All right, and then at 12 we have Caleb, who I've never even really talked football with before, so I have no idea who he's looking at. My guess would just be a running back, and I put him down for Latavius Murray just because he's a Minnesota running back. Yeah.
He's a start.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that.
Wouldn't be a bad pick, though. They've got that damn rookie that a lot of people are high on, Dalvin Cook. But from what I've read, starting the season, Latavius Murray, they signed him to replace AP, and I'm pretty sure Latavius Murray has been. I don't know if he was a 1,000-yard back last year, but I know 2 years ago he had over 1,000 yards with the Raiders.
He was a 788 yards, 12 touchdowns, 264 receiving yards.
Yeah.
So he wasn't terrible. He's
solid.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not going to put up any eggs, but he's not going to.
Right.
He's not going to be hitting 100 yards week in and week out either.
Cooks is a starting running back, so if you do that, you do got to handcuff. Cook.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, Cook has definitely got the more upside.
Okay, then that's number 13, Mr. Nelson. At this point, again, I'm like, I don't know, You know, it's so late in the round. I'm just assuming you're going to pick up the next best running back here.
Yeah. Yeah. And it depends on who's
Let
available.
me ask you this: what if What if the 3 receivers are gone and Jordy Nelson's sitting there at 13? Do you go running back between like Lamar Miller, Gurley, Murray, or do you just go ahead and grab Nelson and then turn around and see what's left at the early second to grab your running back?
I'm grabbing a running back.
Okay.
Yeah. I might even reach and take Leonard Fournette.
Wow, the rookie for the Jags.
Oh.
He's shooting up the draft boards on all the rankings and experts. Like a lot of people have him going like mid-second now, and he started out as a third-round pick. He's already up to like a mid-second, and some people like Chris are willing to roll the dice, late first on him.
Yep.
They're comparing him to like AP or Gurley when they first came out. So.
And
dude, I was fortunate enough. I've got to see Leonard Fournette enough at LSU, man. That dude's a real deal, man.
And like I said, in our league, running backs score way more points than receivers.
Yep.
So.
All right, and on that same train of thought, Creamer in the 14th spot, he's fairly known to go after rookies, and again, he's in that position where he can do that.
Christian McCaffrey, the white running back that the Panthers took to replace Jonathan Stewart.
Right.
Or Dalvin Cook. He'll either go Dalvin Cook or Christian McCaffrey, assuming Fournette's not there.
Yeah.
If Fournette's there, he may just go Fournette, which is the safest pick if you're going to go rookie.
Yeah, I think he goes with his homer. Cook. I talked to him earlier in the, a couple of months ago, a couple of weeks ago, and he was preaching to me about Cook. So I think you know how Creamer is, man. Like he's going to sit back and laugh, and swear to you that
well, he was on the last fantasy talk, right, Josh?
Yeah.
It was you and he's from what he sounded, he's making like good like running back picks and like good. He makes always the good rookie picks, but he took like Cam Newton last year in the second round, which is kind of questionable. And he's hell bent on making the playoffs. It's been a few years since the Creams,
right? Yeah, and
in the playoffs,
that may make him not do.
He's looking to do damage this year. That's what he told me. He's looking to do damage.
I mean, aren't we all? And I mean, this is kind of a make or break year for me, dude. I've been so busy, I haven't had any time to put forth any true effort.
Right.
It's kind of sad. But I'll definitely.
So Josh, based on the mock, you're kind of with my line of thinking, which is just going on like how our point system's set up. You have the majority of running backs going with. Then you've also got the 3 big receivers in Julio, Antonio Brown, and Odell Beckham sprinkled all throughout the first round.
Yeah.
But other than that, you've got most of the running backs and maybe a quarterback if Breeze gets taken or Ryan.
A lot of receivers went in the first round last year,
which was a mistake.
Yeah, I think it was.
That was a mistake. It was a big mistake.
Well, the thing is in years past, receivers actually did better. Like last year was definitely a resurgence for the running backs in fantasy.
Yeah, I agree. Non-PPR leagues, I don't know.
Well, the thing is,
I hear the argument all the time that
ours is a PPR, but you get 1 point for every 5 yards rushing in our league. Where in most leagues you get 1 point for every 10 yards rushing. But I mean, if a running back's averaging 5 yards a carry, that's good, so he gets a point. Receivers get 1 point for every 10 yards a gain. So, that's why if you are getting a running back that's hitting 80, 90 to 100 yards, if you get 100 yards, that's 20 points just in plus. That's not including touchdowns. So if you get 100 yards, that's 20 points plus the bonus, which is 15. That's 35. And let's say he's already got 1 touchdown. You have 100 yards, 1 touchdown. In our league as a running back, that's 41 points. That's way more than a receiver.
That's big. I mean, it's a game changer. I mean, definitely changes the way you strategize.
Well, that token, if a receiver has, 4 or 5 catches for 100 yards and 1 touchdown, that's only like 25, 28, or 29 points.
Well, see, the flip side of that whole argument is that you've got more receiver positions, and oftentimes you end up there's so few quality backs that you end up throwing another receiver in your flex spot.
Right. No, I'm with you.
That's the thing.
I'm
It's
with
a
you.
lot easier to catch for 100 than it is.
But there's 90 something starting receivers in the league. There's only 32 starting running backs. So just going on drafting, I think you want to get you a workhorse running back in the first round because there's going to be so many receivers. Like, how didn't you get Antonio or Amari Cooper at the end of the second round last year, Josh? I'm not Josh, but Chris. Yeah, you got Amari Cooper at the end of the second round last year. I mean, hell, you got like Jarvis Landry in the fourth or fifth round last year, Josh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, their number one receivers are going to be, they're always pushed down. Where the running backs, after the first, definitely by the end of the second round, you're having to roll the dice on a rookie or a handcuff, hoping that the starter gets suspended or hurt. So it is easier, quote unquote, for a receiver to hit a bonus, but they're just, I mean, once you get past the top dogs, I mean, it's like Jarvis Landry. He was consistent all year.
Too, man,
but how often did he hit a bonus?
Oh, Landry never hit a fucking bonus.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, then you got to start looking at slot receivers. You want guys that catch 6, 7, 8 balls a game. They want to get 60 or 70 yards. Your Edelmans, your Landrys, you go down the list. So I don't know. You won last year. You took what, running backs the first 3 rounds, didn't you?
First 2, and then I grabbed I think quarterback in the 3rd round. But I went running back heavy. Just throughout, like, people are still like started drafting, like their kickers and defense and shit. I'm still drafting running backs.
Yeah. And receivers. Your receivers. I mean, there's a rookie receiving class. You've got a bunch of people that have swapped, like Pierre Garcon and Deshaun Jackson are no longer with the Redskins, so they both went to new teams. Kirk Cousins is once again in a contract year because he's franchised. Sean came in last place last year, but he was right on Cousins. Cousins, I think, was the 4th best quarterback in the league, or the 3rd best. But him losing his weapons, that may hurt him. But
I don't know that Deshaun Jackson's been much of a
he's a legit receiver 3 in fantasy football. He's always around 1,000 yards. God, he's always around 1,000 yards.
Stay healthy,
man. Yeah.
That's my only qualm.
No, don't tell me, dude. I had Sammy Watkins and Keenan Allen last year. I mean, when it comes to me and receivers this year, I'm not drafting anybody that's got a injury-prone history. I am staying away from that. So, that's what hurt me last year. I had David Johnson, which was the best player in the league, non-quarterback, and it just wasn't enough to overcome the receiver injuries. So. That's always a factor.
Injuries can kill you, man.
Oh yeah.
Decimated me last year.
What looked like an unstoppable team.
I went back and looked at my draft the other day and compared it to my team that actually ended with. I only had like 3 or 4 players still on the team that I drafted. So mine was that important core of Freeman and McCoy and Rodgers.
You pulled a me. You willed and dealed in trades, and you played the damn the waiver wire, which is if you want to be successful in fantasy, you got to be on top of it week in, week out. You got to be making plays for the people in free agency, and you got to be willing to even if you don't do that much trade, at least be talking to people and see what because like last year it just seemed like middle of the season everybody's wanting receivers. And no one was willing to part ways with their workhorse running backs. Like I'm sure you got hit up for LaShawn McCoy. I'm sure Chris got hit up for his running backs. Like no one was willing to part with their stud running backs. Everybody was willing to move receivers last year because they just wouldn't score as much points. So.
That's funny because it is a pass league. They're like you said. There's so many of them. There's so much. Love to be spread.
I won one year because Odell got suspended, and I played Kamara Aiken like I think in the championship game or the week before the championship game, the playoff game, and he went off and had 100 yards and got me a bonus. I mean, hell, Josh last year played Adam Thielen for the Vikings, and he racked up 200 yards against Hayden, which was one of the big reasons why you beat Hayden.
Yep.
I mean, You just can't plug and put there's no Adam Thielens at the running back position.
Right.
There's no random running back that you've never heard of before that's going to run for 200 yards.
I agree.
So that's why I'm big on it. Get you a workhorse running back in the first, and then you don't have to worry about it. And there's receivers throughout the draft that you can get. But who knows? We'll see eight receivers. We'll see eight receivers taken Sunday, and you'll hear me laughing in the first round.
Late third and fourth.
We'll see Jarvis Landry be taken in the first this year.
I hope so.
No, I don't think so. I don't know, man. People in our league are crazy.
You definitely get some crazy fixes in there, but I think it's another year after, and I think people are figuring it out, more and more. So we'll see how it goes.
Right there in the league lobby.
Overall, last year, most people generally, like, when I looked at everybody's roster last year, after the draft, I thought, man, the league was pretty well balanced, man.
It was, yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember who it was that said you had the bad roster, but I immediately
Oh, Sean.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Sean. Sean, who came in last place, said that our soon-to-be champion had the worst roster.
Clown.
Can we end with that, boys? Can we end with that?
Hey, dude, like, I called it. I actually like the roster.
Yeah, you had A-Rod, too. You had A-Rod and Devontae Freeman, Jarvis Landry. You had LaShawn McCoy. I mean, yeah, you were stacked.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know who ended up helping me the most was Joey. Like, I was hell-bent on getting Blake Bortles last year. And he
That's right.
Blake.
He traded you Matt Ryan instead, the MVP.
Yeah.
I bet he's kicking himself for that one.
I tried to talk him out of it, dude. And I was like, you know what? Don't worry about it.
It is crazy how, like, week in and week out last year, you would have the second highest ranked team going into that week, or coming out of that week, and you played the guy that had the, like, it was just blew my mind. Like, you should have been at, like, 10-3.
I had some really shitty luck last year, man.
You had Matt Ryan, you had DeMarco Murray, Amari Cooper. I mean, you had a good, solid foundation.
You know what, though, man? Like, I'm not going to lie. Last year's, like you said, I would, weeks that I would score the second highest points, I would play against the dude with the first. And I'll be honest, that's really bummed me out. And I'll be honest, since the Super Bowl, I haven't watched any NFL Network. I watched the one rerun of the Super Bowl. I tried to get back into it. And like I said, the one time I cut it on the NFL Network, it's a rerun of the Super Bowl. And, like, I just haven't been keeping up with football like I normally do, man. That's between last year fizzing out and the fantasy, like, that kind of bummed me out. But also, real life football bummed me out. That Super Bowl hurt pretty deep, man. That cut me pretty deep. But hell, that's
It's football.
Part of it, man. Yeah, exactly. Hell, hopefully we'll come back better this year. That's all I can say about it. Fuck Kyle Shanahan. He's a fucking bag. If I ever I don't like, dude. Like, I still like Mike Smith. If you're just a bad coach, like, that's cool. But, like, Kyle Shanahan's a dickhead. One, he lost the playbook. Like, how do you even do that shit, bro? Like, how do you lose the playbook? Then you in the middle of the playoffs, you're signing to another team, man. Like, I don't know, man. Calling stupid plays the whole time. Like, just run the fucking ball, Jesus. Got Albert Einstein over there. I hope the 49ers lose every single game under Kyle Shanahan. I really do. That's how I feel about the dude.
Well, boys, football is coming. Winter is here. I wish I could be with you guys at the draft, but I will be Skyping in, and I'm sure the Sean Saunders curse will be making an appearance on Skype as well, so that should be entertaining for y'all, hearing me and him argue in the background. And I'm just Chris, before we I guess we're about to sign off, but your announcement.
Oh yeah, me and James are going to trade our picks back. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I will be
move back to number 1. Let James move back to 13 or wherever it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like a lot of the league just gave out a sigh of relief. I don't see anyone having a problem with us swapping back.
No, I don't think so.
Good
I
to
mean,
know.
it's pretty cut and dry. Like who the #1 pick's going to be, regardless who picks it.
Yeah.
Goes down to 2 players. I mean, and,
Well, with the suspension now, I mean, it's got to be. You have to take Belarus now. You have to take Belarus.
I want to be honest, man. Like I was already going to go where I was going to go before any waiting, unless something changes between now and Sunday. I've known my.
No, with those two, you got one that beats women, the other one that likes to get. If Bell gets caught with marijuana again, he's done for the year.
Yep.
Well, if he gets caught, I ain't gonna say that.
Rest in peace. You're just gonna wave the white flag.
I mean, who wouldn't want to smoke a blunt with Bell, though? I don't know, man. I really, I'm just gonna keep my fingers crossed. He doesn't do anything fucking retarded.
That's all you can do.
And who knows? I may shock the world and be like,
Julio.
I'm sorry, Dustin. Take Julio. Or I may revert back to my old ways and just say fuck it and take it.
Josh will be doing like jumping jacks and and flips in in Hayden's living room if you take Julio, because that means he's guaranteed either Zeke or Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it made like a rational decision so much easier to make.
Yeah.
So.
I am curious what you do if Bell and Zeke are off the board. Like, do you go for what did you say? You were either going to go Breeze or no, you said Breeze or Zeke because you're banking on Julio being taken before.
Right.
I got you.
Yeah. It comes down to it. We'll see how it goes.
Should be fun. I can't wait. We're a day and a half away.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I mean, it's. Well, hey, what time is the draft, by the way?
Hayden said he would like everybody there by 3, because he's like we're starting by 4. Like first pick will be on the clock 4 o'clock. So, and he said that if anybody's wanting to trade, all trades need to be finalized by 3 o'clock to give him enough time to go in.
Do I need to make a Facebook regarding ours?
I'll post it in Discord. You can post it in Facebook, and I don't even think Hayden has updated the clicky draft board that we're using anyways. He's still got you first, so. But yeah, you can post it on Facebook. Anybody that watches this now knows, and I'll post it Discord, and we'll see if there's any more trades. But yeah, 3 o'clock Georgia time he's wanting everybody there by 3. So.
Nice. Well, I enjoyed it, fellas.
Yes, sir. It's always fun. I always enjoy having the both of you on, and we're gonna be in the thick of it on Sunday. So I guess I'll see you guys there, either physically or virtually.